Right, I'll switch this off in a minute. I'm just waiting for this to come through in my emails so I can monitor this on the screen. This is a Belgian band that's playing. It's called WOR. W-O-R. Let's have that off then, because that's not me anyway. Just like the title says, this is a general sort of playlist update, and it's the 5th of September 2024. So what we're going to do in this live stream here is talk you through what we have on the playlists in the channel, and where we're sort of going with them as well, and so sort of how you can access things as well. So it's the autumn update. There's not really, in Scotland anyway, there's not a lot of sort of pipe bandy things left. I think Pitlochry is about the last. There's Peebles coming up this week. Pitlochry's about the last, and also maybe the last outdoor games as well. It used to be Invercarron. I don't know if that's even in existence now. Anyway, what I wanted to talk through with you, if you're not already aware, is we do have playlists within the channel, and first of all, they will be arranged in the type of tune, where the tune does have a type. So there are 2/4 marches, 3/4 marches, also retreats, 6/8, etc. There are strathspeys, there are reels. Now, wherever else the tune might be included, it will also be classified by the type. So if you can't find it in a playlist from a book, for example, it will be there under strathspeys, and that's a quite an easy way to use the channel. Coming to the main point, apart from the type of tune, what playlists do we have? Well, we have the Glenbervie side, the folk duo side, for example. I've also got one called Hills, where I go and do daft things up hills. Incidentally, I can't get my live chat here to work for some reason. It's just not coming up. I did say hello in the comments box, but I can't see where it was. What we're really here for is to go over sort of where we go next, and I'll take your advice on that to a certain extent. So what have we done as far as books and specific collections of tunes go? The first thing we did, the Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association, if in fact we can still mention the Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association these days, they have prescribed tunes, and that's the first thing we did. So that was a few years ago now. So the lists are actually incomplete because they've been added to, the Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association have added to their prescribed tune lists. So as far as I remember, there are 2-parted marches, reels. I think that's all they do. 4-parted marches and reels. And what you'll find is there's a bit of a crossover in these lists, because you will find, for example, the Atholl and Breadalbin Gathering will be in them both. So there'll be 2 parts of it in the 2-parted march list, and you'll get the complete tune in the 4-parted march list. So that's sort of what kicked it off. That's what kicked off my little tune collection fixation. Then what we did was we did Scots Guards Book 1, and that was the first Regimental collection that we did. Why did we do that? Well, I was in the Scots Guards, and this was probably the first big book that I had, so we did it. And having done that, the natural progression then was to Scots Guards Book 2. So everything's on there. If you don't know the rationale really between all these tunes being on there, the tunes aren't on there played to the tempo that they would be played. The tunes are on there played really nice and slowly. The main reason being that we want people to be able to learn from these recordings, not launch into it straight away and play it up to speed, but actually learn from these recordings. So that's why they are very slow. The secondary reason is I don't actually know all of them, so I've had to learn them enough to get them on 95% correct and phrased correctly. So that's the other thing. We don't say that all these recordings are 100% as they should be, because there's the odd mistake in them, sometimes big mistakes. From there, we went to Scots Guards Volume 3, which is the newest one. I actually played with a couple of other of the old guys. I played for the launch of this book in the National Piping Centre. Myself, Keith Bowes, Rob Russell, I think, and one other guy, Andy something. Anyway, we played for the launch of the book. I don't know how it's doing. It's a little bit more modern, but all the tunes contained in this book are on the channel as well. Then we had a bit of thinking to do, and the first book I went to was the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders. Now this is incomplete. I think 2/3 of the book are on, and I just got fed up. I got fed up with this, and I'll probably come back and complete the tunes that are in it. The reason that I was attracted to it is my grandfather was a piper in the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders. He was in the 7th Battalion during, we always say during the war, during the Second World War. So that I've always, and this is my local regiment as well. So if I hadn't went to the Guards, I would have been in the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders. So we might get back to that one day, and this just now is our only incomplete collection. After that, what we thought, so I was kind of hooked by this time, and this became, as well as teaching, very much what I did. So the YouTube channel at that point as well began to gather more subscribers, and we'll come back to that in a minute. And what we did was, we thought, well, what do people really want to see? And we did the National Piping Centre Essential Tunes Book 1. As it was at that point, I think it was the College of Piping Essential Tunes Book 1. It's the same book. Some of the tunes in there, to be fair, are perhaps a little old-fashioned now, but they're all very, very good for learning, and in here they are written out quite simply as well. So it's a good book to do, and there's a playlist. If you have this book or any of the books that we've just looked at here, then the tunes are all on the YouTube channel. Totally natural progression. What we did after that is we went to Essential Tunes Book 2, and this is in fact a College of Piping copy. So enough said about that. It's a follow-on really from Essential Tunes Book 1, and this is also on the channel. Then, now, I was going to show you something else. This is the National Piping Centre Tutor Book 1, still I think known as the Green Book, and we don't actually have a playlist which says National Piping Centre Tutor Book 1, but what we do have all the tunes from Tutor Book 1. We have them played as they are written in Tutor Book 1, and you will find them in two places. We actually did as an experiment, I suppose, a couple of years ago now, because these videos by and large are not lessons. They were never meant to be lessons. They are aid memoirs or introductions at best. But we thought we would have a go at doing actual lessons. So we introduced a number of lessons from the National Piping Centre or the College of Piping, Tutor Book 1. Since then, we have progressed things a little, and we now have channel memberships open, and I'm going to plug them, because what happens in the channel membership area, where you have to pay, I think it's £4 a month or something like that, you will have access to an ever-growing bank of tunes, and some they're not available to the public. One of the things that we're actually working on just now, we're probably about 2/3 of the way through, is proper structured detailed lessons from the National Piping Centre Tutor Book 1. Now, what we do not do, of course, with any of these books, and this, we do not supply you with the music. If you want to work from this book, then you buy this book from the National Piping Centre. That avoids me having to do a lot of work in putting the music up, and it avoids any copyright issues either, because you actually have to buy the book. So this is ongoing just now in the members area, and I might as well cover that just now. I always ask in all the videos, I ask people to subscribe to the channel, and I would still like you, please subscribe to the channel. We have 15,500 subscribers just now, and the dog might go a bit crazy here. I've got a parcel coming to the door. We might not. Anyway, so subscribers we're talking about. Subscribers means you will be notified. If you choose to be notified, you're notified every time a video comes up. A channel membership is different from that. A channel membership means you have access to videos which no one else has access to, and that bank will build up over time. What we're doing just now, we're doing about 3 recordings a week just now. They have mainly been from the National Piping Centre Tutor Book 1, but I have had requests for other tunes. So we did a lesson on the Strathspey Dora MacLeod last week for one of the channel members. No one else gets to see that. You must be a channel member, not necessarily a subscriber, to have access to these lessons. Finally, yeah, I said we had 15,000 subscribers, and we do. We've got 15,600 or something. But we know from our analytics, our viewing thing that YouTube provides me with, that actually 60,000 or so are regularly viewing the channel. Now, I once heard that there are 200,000 pipers in the world. If 60,000 of them are regular viewers of the channel, then I've got over a quarter of the world's pipers actually watching these videos regularly. And probably most of the world's pipers are actually looking at it now and again. Whether they learn at it or they just say that's rubbish, I don't care. But we have quite a large viewing population. So there will be lots more members videos coming up in the future. The longer we go on, the more members videos there will be. That, of course, does not mean that the videos available to the public. Well, the other thing is the members always see the videos first before they go to the public. So yes, we'll always be releasing at least one public video per day. That's a little challenge I've set to myself. So I'm going to try and do one video every day and see how long we can keep the run going for. So back to the collections. This year we did this. The Chattanooga Pipe Band released this book, and it's very good. Lots of different viewing stuff in it. So I saw it come up. I mailed the band and said, look, give us your book and I'll record everything and put it out. And we did, and I think the Chattanooga band made quite a few sales out of it as well, which is good. So if your band, I mean, I'm always looking for new stuff, and I'll come back to that in a minute, but I am always looking for new stuff. So if your band is putting a collection out there, if you know someone that's putting a collection out there and you would like the tunes put on the YouTube, then give me a shout and I'll do my very best to do it. The benefit is, I mean, you probably play your tunes better than I do, but the benefit is people watch the channel. I don't give them your music. They'll say you've got to buy the book. So you might sell more of your book if you send it to me and I'll record. On that basis, that's not only books that works with. All of our, or most of our new videos on the practice chanter will be with Fraser Warnock chanters and reeds. There may be someone else coming in as well, but right now this is the general idea. So Fraser Warnock chanters and reeds sent me 3. See if I can pick the right ones out here. So this is the long guy. This is the what do they call it? The retro chanter, which is I've been using so far, and there's also a normal sort of plastic chanter. So most of the new videos will be done with Fraser's chanters, and again I'll include the link to buy those chanters, and hopefully some people will. As a matter of fact, some people have done already. So finally, and this is the one we've just finished. I'll actually let you into a secret. I've still got 2 tunes to go. With this, a Pibroch and a strange arrangement called The Long Rivali, which is a collection of tunes. So I should get this done next week. So it's the Queen's Own Highlanders Caber Fay collection, which can still be bought. There's some really good stuff in this. I went away from this and came back to it, but it's still available. National Piping Centre for one will sell it, and your local piping supplier will probably sell it as well. This is another one which was it was quite topical, because when this was being published, this was pretty much the time I was in the forces, so I knew a lot of the composers, a lot of the people that were playing the tunes. So I've always liked this one, and it is good. Some really good tunes in it. So, and this is part of the reason that I'm on just now, is what do we do next? Now, what I'm going to try and do is perhaps get a little bit modern on you. So I'm going to show you some books I've got here just now. If you think I should be doing one of these books, then please let me know. You'll have to let me know somewhere else, because as I said, our chat facility doesn't appear to be working here, which is a real pest. So I just picked these more or less randomly out of the huge big bookcase behind me here. And we have 100 years of Jimmy Shand. What do you think? Probably not, but it's there. 100 years of Jimmy Shand in pipe notation, more or less. I'm not sure about that. It might not be in pipe notation actually. This one here, which is good. Now this is available again. It's a collection called The Piper's Day, and what it is duty and regimental tunes from what was the Queen's Own Highlanders, now 4 Scots. And I got this at the Northern Meetings one year for the princely sum of £1. I think the Queen's Own Highlanders Museum was trying to get rid of them, and I wish I'd bought a box of them now, because they're about £30 now, but this cost me £1, and there's some good stuff in there, but I've just done Caber Fay, so I don't know if I'll do that. This is available. It's not modern though, but the pipe music of John McCall, so it's a Piping Centre publication, I think. Certainly, I'm sure people would use it. I picked 10 out, I won't keep. Terry Tilley's collection, I like this book. This is book number 1 in his collection. He's got 5. What you do find in his collection is there's a lot of the same tunes will crop up, but be slightly different arrangements. There's some really, really fantastic and fun tunes in this book, so it might be this one. There's also a playlist up on this one already, but I've not really done an awful lot, so this would be completing it. This here, which I've not even looked at, I just picked it out, the Gillis collection. Is this still available? Can you still get it? I might think about that. I might think about the Gillis collection. Yeah, nice stuff. The Duncan Johnston collection, his complete tunes. Now, it's not actually his complete tunes, because they're not all in here, but There's some good stuff in there. This is slightly modern, isn't it? Anyone under about 30 or so is going to be going, no, that's ancient. But it is for me. So, Robert Matheson's, this is book 1. Again, I think Robert's got about 5 books out as well, and I hope you can still buy them. I'll have to have a look at that before I decide whether or not to do the tunes from the book, because I'll just get absolutely fed up with people asking me for the music. No, you can't have the music. Buy the book. This is quite interesting. So, From Scots Border to Ulster, Scotland, it's by a chap called Ian Bell. And I was pointed towards this by one of the students. And it was a really nice book with some really good stuff in it. And it is available. I know it's available to buy. So this, I would think, is at least a top 5 contender. And now, there's only 2 more. Blockbuster by Ryan Canning. Now that's about as modern as I know about. I know there's lots of much more modern stuff than this, but for me, this is pretty up to date. So we might think about doing this one, and you can buy this as well. Lastly, this is a bit of a strange one, and you might not have seen it. I think you can now buy this in the Piping Centre. It's called Pipe Music of the Clan MacLean. So everything in here is about MacLeans, or it's been written by MacLeans. It's everything from basic marches up to Pibroch, and it used to just be available in Duart Castle here. And again, we've done Duart Castle is on the Isle of Mull, and it's the seat of the chief of the Clan MacLean, who I met, and he's also ex-Scots Guards, which is quite good. So I think this is now available in the National Piping Centre, because we did a lot of stuff from here. We spent a lot of time on Mull, and the book just kind of hit a chord, and I liked that it was only £10 at the time. And what you can find without downing, my monitors went off. Anyway, aye, Daniel, what, this one? The just Moidart collection. I see. Yes, aye. There's 2 books there. Maybe. So okay, well that's the first vote in. Yeah. So the Moidart collection's got to be a strong contender. Some really good stuff in there. Alan MacDonald's book. So I'll finish off about this. Aye. So the music of the Clan MacLean. What you find in a lot of these really obscure books is there's a lot of stuff in it which is just, I'll be blunt, it's pretty mince, you know. So, but this is chock full of really good tunes. The Moidart collection is a really strong contender, though. Again, I'll hold my hands up and say, what I've got to do is, I don't want to tackle a book which is really difficult, because I do have this thing about wanting to get out a tune every day. And if I'm really slogging away with intricate tunes, then that might not happen. But I have done stuff from the Moidart collection already, so yep, okay, that's a possibility. So that's it. I thought I'd just tell you about it. And YouTube said that I must put out live streams every now and again, so that's the live stream for this week. Coming into the off season now, of course, and we are seeing the viewing figures pick up, because I suppose pipe bands are starting to introduce their new stuff already, and people are turning to the channel, which is great. As usual, just a rider, please make sure that what I'm playing on the channel isn't too different from what your band requires. Lastly, if you do want your band music put on, please contact me. Sometimes I charge for that. It really depends how long it's going to take me. And lastly, I suppose, people did this a wee while ago. If you want your band t-shirt or whatever worn on the videos, send us them, size large, usually, not large Scottish size, possibly extra large Scottish size, large some other countries. And having insulted people there, I'll head off. I'll always get confused at the end of these because the off button is always in a strange place. So thanks for bearing with me, and thanks again for all your support, and work hard please over the winter and use the channel.